Hey, how's it going, William? My name is Jack here with Rocket Ship SEO. Thanks for reaching out and asking for a site analysis. So here it is. What I want to do in this video is just quickly go over what I can see as a search marketer in terms of your SEO, what kind of keywords are potentially out there, and how we would rank you for that, for those keywords if we were to tackle this project on together, all right? So without further ado, let me go ahead and get started. The first thing I did was I pulled up your website here in a tool called Ahrefs. Ahrefs allows search marketers like myself to look at the metrics of a website and see what's been working out for you. So what I can see right off the bat is you don't have a lot of referring domains and backlinks pointing to your website. Now, the number of referring domains and backlinks that point to your website has a huge impact in the authority on your website, and your authority in turn plays a very, very integral role in how highly you rank for the keywords you want to rank for, as well as how quickly you rank for those keywords once your authority is established. So, in case you didn't know what a backlink or referring domain is, William, it's basically any website out there that's on the internet that links back to your website via a hyperlink. So if, for example, we reached out to a blog that's called the printdesignblog.com, and we asked them to do a piece for us and then link back to us, just in the fact that the blog goes out there and makes a new blog post and says, hey, if you're looking for the best banners or signs, check out inkspotsonline.com. And then the fact that they actually have a hyperlink that goes back to your website is actually tracked by Google, and that's considered a backlink. And there's power in those links that link back to your website, because that builds the overall authority on your website. And the more authoritative your website is, like I said, affects your rankings. So it's very important that we have a lot of quality websites, because not all websites that point back to your website are going to be worth the same. And so we need to make sure that they're very relevant to your niche and space, as well as being quality websites themselves, pointing back to your website. We want to shoot for about 300 to 400 referring domains on about 1,000 to 3,000 backlinks. That's really going to show Google that you're an authority in the space, and you're going to rank for a lot more keywords than you're at right now. So that's the first thing that we would do. Obviously, we do that kind of thing. We outreach and make sure that you start getting more websites talking about you. And the other thing I want to show you here, excuse me, is basically what kind of keywords you're currently ranking for. All right. So right off the bat, it looks like ink spot print. You rank on the number 3rd spot. We want to make sure you have the number 1 spot for that, because it's part of your branding name, right? So ink spots printing, you have the number 1 spot. Ink spot printing, ink spot printing. You have the 11th spot. So yeah, these are all very important keywords that we want to rank for, because if through other marketing things that you've done, besides doing it online, if people found out about your brand name and they search up Inkspot Print and they're looking for your website and they see someone else, then you might be potentially losing out on business that way. So that's one of the first things that I would do, and just making sure that you rank for your brand name. So Signs Ink may be a decent one. There's not a lot of search volume for this kind of thing. So ink spots may be a decent one. Okay, wow. So ink space spots gets 4,900 searches per month. So I don't know if there's like another brand that's called ink spots, and then and that's why there's so many searches for that. But there's a decent amount of search here, and there's really nothing wrong with ranking for this phrase, even if they're searching for something else, considering you have that name. And on top of that, just like if someone were to go to the mall and they originally went to the mall to purchase Nike shoes, and on the way to the Nike shoes they see a Puma store and they see some really nice kicks, and they end up purchasing the Puma kicks instead of the Nike shoes that they originally went to the mall for. Just another one of those things. If you consider it, it's just how the way business works. The one thing I did was I actually typed in print design to our Keywords Explorer tool to see kind of what kind of keywords we could potentially grab. And I noticed that actually print design gets 1,800 searches per month. And so that's a lot more than most of the other keywords that you're currently ranking for. And this is absolutely something that I would highly recommend that we would go after. And so this is the kind of thing that we would do, right? I would do some keyword research, find the keywords that have a decent amount of search volume, right? Because what's the point of going after a keyword that only gets 100 searches per month? There's just not enough bang for your buck in terms of going after a keyword and amount of search volume for it, right? So that's the kind of thing we would do. We would optimize your keyword set, make sure that the kinds of keywords are the ones that we want to capture in terms of the amount of volume there is, and the competition level, right? So if you try and go after the keywords like business cards, I guarantee you there is going to be a lot of tough competition in terms of SEO in that space. It's going to take you at least a year to start ranking for that kind of keyword. Just because of the sheer amount of difficulty and how much competition is already there, and how much money that those people that are already at the top have been putting into SEO, right? To gain that spot and to hold that spot. So it's just one of those things that what I recommend doing is kind of go after the low-hanging fruit and start bringing in traffic and sales to your website in the process of trying to rank you for some of these larger keywords that have more competition, right? That way you're getting sales, you're getting more traffic, you're getting more business to your website, and you can see the value of SEO in the process of us going after those keywords, right? Those more difficult keywords. So, I mean, another one, Avery Design and Print Online, gets 13,000 searches per month. What I did was I actually typed in your exact keywords you'd like to rank into our Keywords Explorer tool and see what else we could pull up. Business cards right off the bat, like I said, it gets tons of searches, like 432,000 searches per month is a ridiculous amount of searches. Just in the fact, the moment that you hit the first page for this keyword, you're going to be set in terms of how fast and how much business you're going to get to your website, right? But it's just a matter of getting there, which is going to take a very long time. Signs is another decent one, 86,000, keyword difficulty of 66. Banners is another decent one, but again, very difficult to rank for. This is actually a great one right here. Window graphics actually gets 1,900 searches per month. It has extremely low keyword difficulty, so it's very possible for us to rank you for this very quickly, just in the sheer lack of volume for this kind of thing. So that's the kind of thing that we could absolutely look into and kind of hash out a keyword set and then start tackling those keywords. If we were to tackle this project on together, that's kind of what we would do. Do the keyword research, hash out the keyword set, and start ranking you for those kinds of keywords. So let's see what we can find on your website right off the bat. What I would recommend is turn this into a click-to-call. So a lot of people are on their phones when they're on visiting websites nowadays, right? It's actually more than half of people are on their smartphones or a mobile device like a tablet or an iPad. And so we just want to make sure this is a click to call because that way people don't have to drag and copy in that, and it can just click. That's also kind of an SEO factor, so you want to make sure that's click to call. Facebook looks like we've got all of our social profiles on there, which is fantastic news because you can share and you can just post to people and start building a following. On top of that, it helps with SEO because your social rankings and social signals is a part of SEO nowadays. So that's definitely something that I would highly recommend that you continue to build out and grow out. The other thing is, what I would recommend is, what I would highly recommend is making sure that you have some kind of questionnaire on here. It could even just be a real thin banner right here in the middle, right under this, right between these texts and these individual pages, and basically it has like their email, maybe name, maybe phone number, and quick comment. So in case they had a question about any of the products or services that you provided, and they just wanted to ask you a quick question, they could go ahead and enter those details and hit submit. The reason why I would recommend doing this is just because of the sheer number of leads and business that you actually get. This is something that's worked extremely well for our current clients. One client in particular is in the car and window tint space, and they didn't have this basically this questionnaire form on their website, and when we optimized their website, we made sure to add that. Now they're getting tons and tons of leads just in that questionnaire form. They're literally getting leads every single day. Multiple leads every single day, just in the fact that they have that. The reason being is because not everyone's comfortable with calling a phone number. They don't know where this is going to direct them, right? It might take them to an autoresponder. It might take them straight to voicemail. It might take them to someone that's out in India. It might take them to your actual office. And the fact that you don't even have your office hours on here, so they don't know. So a lot more people are more comfortable just entering their details and then you reaching out to them at their earliest convenience, right? And so that's just one of those ways where you increase your conversion rates, right? So if 100 people are visiting your website and you're closing on one of them, we want to shoot for closer to 3 or 4, and that way you're effectively tripling or quadrupling your business just in the fact that you have this lead gen form right here that asks for a questionnaire. So that's definitely something that I would highly recommend. I think you have a decent amount of content on here, basically linking out to the individual pages, but I would shoot for more. The reason being is content is just another one of those things that affect how Google sees um, your website and how authoritative it is. And so if you just don't have enough content on your website, Google's just not going to give you enough credit in terms of authority on your website and ranking you higher. And so we just need to make sure that we have more content than where you're at right now. Just basically talking about what inkspots is, maybe talking about some of the product differentiators, so like what differentiates you from other competition. Maybe just some more content about some of the brochures, business cards, that newsletters, that kind of thing that you could do. That way, Google's spiders and crawlers can go through your website and then pick up on the content and on the words that's on your website, and then that also helps with helping Google understand exactly what keywords that you want to rank for as well, because we're going to layer in some of those keywords that we want to capture in your content. And so just honestly, right now, you're at a great spot in terms of where your website is. There's authority on your website because you're currently ranking for a lot of these keywords. Your web domain itself is over a year old, which is another one of those ranking factors, which is good news, by the way. And it's just really a matter of doing some on-page SEO, making sure we clean this up, and then adding more content, and then continuing to build the authority by doing outreach and making other websites, not making, but encouraging other websites to start talking about your website and building that authority that way. All right, so I'll wrap it up here, William. Would love to talk to you further about what you're looking to do with websites, kind of some of the things that I talked about, maybe some of the keywords I looked at, and if that kind of aligns with what you're looking to do and what you're looking to rank for and make sales off of, and then hashing out like a plan of attack and getting started with this. All right, so appreciate it again, William. At the very least, I hope you got some insight out of it, and I look forward to talking to you soon. All right, thank you.